my name is Starlight. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and I'm reaching out to all of you beautiful souls out there. I hope that you're able to get out in nature somewhere. And in my area, sorry, I gotta turn my phone off real quick. It is like 75 today in my area. That is really warm in this area. And I don't know what the temperature is like in your area, so if it is beautiful, you want to get out and enjoy that beautiful weather while you have it. And you might hear my babies out in the background, some crows, and they just started talking as I started making this video, so they are my babies. And whoops, I got an itch. If you are new to my YouTube channel, welcome. And for those of you that have watched Starlight videos and subscribed, thank you so much. And anyway, today I have a new video for you, and it's called Do It Yourself. It is funny is when you go through life, you know, where Starlight is a very capital independent woman. Definitely. I've been like that my whole life. It's hard for me to ever try to depend on anyone. And I started out like that when when I was very young, is I started out trying to depend on people. And then I realized what a huge headache that was. You know, it caused me more stress than I could even think of, you know. So that is what this video is about, is do you find yourself either depending on people, or are you that type of person like Starlight that says, you know what, I'd rather do it myself, thank you. And that is how Starlight is. But I do have to say there's times that, you know, I take risk, I take chances and say, wonder if I can count on anybody, you know. And I have to say every single time it backfires on me. So, and that's why, you know, I want to be more independent. You know, I realize that I really need to do this myself. You know, there's times that you might think that you can count on family or friends or, you know, people in your area, wherever you live. And, you know, like there's people that might reach out to try to help you out. And you might say, you know, okay, I'll give it a try. You know, because some people, they see what you're going through, and you know, they claim that they care and they want to help you out in your situation. But what I am learning is it is really best to do it yourself, you know. It is best to me to be independent, you know. And like my whole life, I mean, I've been more single than with anybody in my life. Ask my family, you know. And which is funny is because I love a lot of time with myself. I do like that space. I do like being, you know, like by myself. But I do have to say I prefer to be married and be living with somebody and share my life with somebody than to be all alone by myself, you know, living by myself. You know, where, you know, like when you have somebody that you care about and they care about you, where you're there for each other, you know. And you know, it's just not one-sided, you know, where you're putting in, you know, and it should be more than 50%, I hope. You know, I hope you're not just giving 50% of yourself in a relationship, because that's not Starlight at all. I am very giving when it comes to relationships, or even family, or even strangers, you know. And it's so good to be like that. But on the same side is, don't get where you're doing more for others than yourself, which that's where Starlight always has to kind of you know, focus on, is like, you know, maybe I'm giving you too much of my time and energy. So anyway, it's so important that you really, you know, if you're going through a hard time in life, and have you found it easy to go to your, there's, family you might go to, or, maybe you actually have a friend or somebody that says that they are your friend. And, it is something how I find that something really never goes quite right when I actually decide to let somebody help me out. Something always backfires on Starlight somehow or another. And, where I'm like, I wished I never even took the offer. So how are you on this topic? Are you an independent type of man or female, or are you a dependent person where, when something comes up, I can check with my mom or dad or my brother or sister, see if they can help me out, or maybe, I'll check with my husband or my wife and see if they can help me out. And it is sweet, if you're married and you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a husband and wife where you can, because we should be there for each other, I hope, right? But if you are single and you're not dating anybody, and, do you find yourself counting on your family, or maybe you got somebody that you call a friend, or maybe they say they're your friend, and, you try to count on them, and you take a chance. You're like, really, I'm a independent female, and okay, they want to help me out. Okay, I'm gonna put the wall down, and I'm gonna give this a shot, even though I am going against really what I like. I really rather do it on my own, but here I go. I'm gonna give this a shot, and I'm gonna see if this person really is, they say they're my friend, or and see how this goes. And have you, are you, independent type or dependent? Do you always depend on somebody to help you out when you're struggling through something? Starlight, like I said, started out like that long time ago. I didn't have a car with my 2 little kids, and I tried to depend on people to help me out, to give me a ride to the doctors, because I couldn't walk there on my own with my 2 kids. It was too far away. It could have been like hours before I would even get to the doctor's appointment, and I might have been struggling financially, of course, being a single mom, where there's times that Starlight did. She tried so hard to depend on people. And you know what? I got so frustrated because sometimes the people would never show up, especially for a ride. I'd be like, okay, my appointment is at what time? And I would be looking at the clock and waiting, for that ride, because it takes so many minutes to get there. I gotta get my kids all dressed and ready for the appointment to go, to the doctor somewhere, and now I look at the time and I'm like, and I don't get no phone call. They don't call, and sometimes it's a no-show. It's like, like they really didn't want to help me out sometimes, where it's like I forced them to try to help me out, but then they didn't even follow through, or where they were so late. Maybe it wasn't that bad of a walk. Maybe it was an hour walk with 2 kids, depending on the weather. Was it rainy out? Was it snowing out? Where I'm like, it's kind of funny, because by the time this person shows up, I could probably already be halfway there dragging my 2 kids along with me. The frustration, of just waiting for somebody to show up, if they're even going to show up. So, it is something that is, like I said, I'm very independent, and, where there's times that they will reach out and say, hey, Starlight, I will help you out, and you do, you let them help you out. And then you realize that later on, they really didn't even want to help you out. And now they don't even want to help you out. So were you better off just doing it yourself, struggling a little bit, Yes, I have to say you're probably better off just doing it yourself. I have found throughout my whole life is that I have never been able to really count on anybody to help me out. But I've always been there to help them out. So it is amazing how this goes, where sometimes, people claim that they love you and that they're there for you, but when it really comes down to really being there and really giving you the help that you really need through a hard time, you know, you call them up and they're not around, and Starlight is the type of person that if somebody helps me out, like if I stayed at their house, maybe spent the night at their house just to have somewhere comfortable to sleep, Starlight is very clean. She keeps her stuff picked up. I will do some of their chores. I will help out, and I will be quiet. I don't cause any problems, so it's not that I did anything wrong. It's just that I am a very independent person, and I find that it's actually better to do it myself. It's better that I struggle and go through, like some hard times being independent than depending on anybody, and I have found that out even in past relationships, to be honest with you, is, where I was better off just doing it myself. It is kind of funny how that goes in life, where, you would like to think that maybe you could possibly count on somebody, and a while back in August, I was thinking somebody was going to help Starlight out, and, I'm like, they were not there in sight, it's like, I thought it was my birthday month. I thought you were going to help me out. But you know what? They were not there at all, Matter of fact, they were out having a ball. They were having fun, on my birthday. So it is amazing when you see people and, you think that they're going to be there to help you and support you, but really, you're better off doing it on your own, especially, like, it could be family, it could be people that say that they're your friends, and they're really not there, really, not at all. They say they're there, but really they're not. So you really, to me, my opinion, I could be wrong, maybe you could correct me, is I believe it's best to be independent. I do know some people in my life where, I might have mentioned a couple of things and, to help them out and say, hey, I noticed that, you just got this vehicle and, I want to help you by saving you some money so this doesn't happen to you, because it happened to me, is because we're getting a cold weather, is that maybe, you want to empty out that window wash, the summer window cleaner for your car, clean that out of your car and get the winterized window cleaner for your vehicle so it doesn't bust your tank in your car for your window cleaner, because that's what happened to Starlight. It costed like $300 and something to get that baby fixed, because I didn't realize they had summer window cleaner in the car, and when I bought it, it was fall time and it got cold and it cracked the the machine or whatever in my car where I was pouring the winterized window cleaner in my car, and it went right through the machine and went on the ground. And I'm like, why did that happen? Well, it cracked and it broke, where, all the person had to do is really just use up that window cleaner and in their car, the window wash or whatever for their car, and put brand new winterized glass cleaner, window cleaner for their car for the winter months. That way it doesn't crack. And it was a simple thing. All they got to do is use that up and, use the winter stuff. And they're like, oh, I will call somebody up and help me out with that. It's like, you could really do that on your own. You really don't need anybody's help to actually do that. That it's a simple, common sense kind of thing to do. It's nothing hard, where they count on everybody to do everything for them. Is that such a great thing to do? Absolutely not. You really don't want to try to depend on anyone. You really just want to depend on yourself, make yourself do it. You might give them other advice and say, hey, you might want to do this or that. And, hey, you got cold air coming in your window because you got the AC in there. And, it is funny how they might know somebody handy that could actually pick up that machine and, maybe their boyfriend or husband, but they depend on other people to do the work for them, so you really want to really be independent, be the most independent that you can possibly be. Try not to really count on anyone except for yourself, because it's going to cause a lot of problems, and then sometimes some people out there that, there's strings attached, you're like, you ask for a little favor, or it complicates things. And Starlight is so good at, like anytime that, if anybody, if I let anybody ever do anything, I make sure I am given back, and I'm very respectful and I'm very grateful for them if I let anybody help me out. But it doesn't always work that way. And you really, I normally, somebody asked me, they wanted to help me out, and I'm like, give me work, and I'm like, is there any strings attached that I need to know about? Are you really seriously really wanting to help me out? What is the catch? In my area, and I don't trust these things, is I don't know if this happens in your area, where they like to hang out in areas like where the homeless people are, and there's different companies. I've seen like 3 companies, and they're out there giving free phones away, and they're looking, they're hanging around where it's homeless people, and it's like, I don't want your phone. I really don't. I don't trust your phone. Like, why would you want to give me a free phone? So I do not trust that kind of stuff, and I don't go to the government for help, like for money. So I am very independent. I got 2 legs and 2 arms, and I'm able to go to work. I'd rather go out and get a job and be independent and do it myself than to go out and have somebody hand me money, because there's always going to be strings attached. Now, because they gave you money, what is it that you got to do? Are they in control of your life now because they're giving you money? Of course, yeah. And how many, like when it comes to government, how many pieces of paper do you have to fill out? How many, obstacles and, like, do you have to go through just to get help? And, how many appointments do you got to go to, and how many times, how many trips do you have to make, where Starlight's independent. Let me go and get my job myself and get back on my feet all on my own. I don't need the government's help to go get a job. I'm capable of getting one on my own. So it's so important that you are independent. Do things on your own. It's more of a headache, and it will cause you more stress when you depend on other people. I'm serious, things never seem to go the way you think they're going to go, and there's always some kind of thing that, where you feel uncomfortable, and then, where sometimes people say they want to help out, and it's like, then later on they act like they really didn't want to help you out. So, it is best to do things on your own and do it yourself, because it will save you a lot of stress and a lot of headaches. And when you're going through a hard time, it will really open up your eyes to really who's out there to help you out and who really cares, and I believe not just to take, but to give back, to people that do help out. So I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it's better to do things yourself? Or, are you that kind of person that is always like, well, like, let me go see if I could find somebody to help me to do this, you know. And Starlight, like I said, I lived by myself so much. Even when it came to rearranging my furniture around here, I would have this big furniture, and I'm like, man, that furniture is heavy, you know, like a big heavy couch, and you know, where I wanted to clean under the couch, rearrange my furniture, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get this baby done. I'm not gonna, you know, like, hey, can you help me move my furniture around? I'll get that baby moved, you know. I'm gonna find a way of getting that furniture rearranged and do whatever, you know. And there might be some times you might have to depend on somebody because it's way too much. But always give 100% of yourself. You know, do things as much as you possibly can on your own. Please don't try to always go out there looking for somebody to help you out, because it can have a way of coming back at you, or later on they could say, hey, remember when I helped you out, you know, and you know, you know, they might help you out, but they're looking for something in return, you know. They want something later on, or they're going to bring it up and like, hey, yeah, I was here helping you out, you know. That's why it is best, really, to not count on anybody, because anytime you think you can count on anybody, it's a smack in the face. I do love all of you, and you know, you could give this video a thumbs up, and you know, people say stuff, it doesn't mean that they're really going to follow through on anything. So don't always believe what everybody says. Is, you know, some people will be like, hey, you know, like, we'll meet sometime in the future. Well, you know, I don't know about that. So you know, you don't believe everything that somebody tells you. Is you know, work on yourself, work on your goals. Just focus on yourself is the best advice I can give you on that. Is sometimes you gotta let some of those people go, because you realize that they're not here helping you out, you know. They're not there supporting you or loving you like you might have thought they were gonna, you know. And it is painful that when you see that you thought that people are gonna be there to help you out, and it has a way of biting you. So it's a big eye-opener for Starlight, is to realize who is there for me and who is not. So I love all of you, and it's a lesson to learn. You know, I'm learning lots of lessons every day, and I love being independent, really. I get stuff done. I get it done right away. I don't have to wait for anybody, you know, and I get it done the way I want it done. You know, I don't have to go redo something because I thought I could count on somebody else. So you know, do it yourself. So don't count on other people to do your stuff for you. And I know I'm repeating myself, but it's like, you know, a big eye-opener for Starlight. And I do love you, and I hope you have a great night. This is Starlight, love and light, peace.